Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden. Welcome to a chill stream. No plan today. We're hanging out. We're just hanging out, and we'll probably write some code. We'll answer questions. We might do some Clash of Code. We might just talk about life, etc. And I don't know why I paused there, but I'm gonna have music on in the background. I'll turn it down. Right there. That should be a decent voice to music volume. Let me know if I need to turn the music down a little bit. Oh, yeah. Let me fix that. I need to fix. You should not be able to see. It's a chill stream. It's a chill stream. Give me a second. All right, I'll lower it a bit too. All right, I think we're in it. I think we're in. Greetings, everyone. Glad to see you. Quick order of business. I have a course if you haven't heard about it yet. reactroots.com. It's a course on the basics of React and TypeScript. I just published an intro video about it. Actually, there's more info here. Yeah, exclamation mark course. Thank you, Acid Spark. More info there, and then I just published a YouTube video with a rundown of everything that's going to happen in the course. Let me link this as well. So that is the thing. Cool. But how you doing? Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. There's various things that we could work on. Honestly, this is probably if we write any code today, it would be this. It would be a countdown timer. Because I have a countdown timer on my starting soon screen, but as you can see, it's from bigtimer.net, and I just need to write my own. So we might do that today. A really solid timer, yeah. Had time to eat, yeah, great. Me too. Yeah, I don't know if you saw me in the getting started stream, but I was I was eating some food as well. But yeah, I mean, I was actually supposed to go live like 2.5 hours ago, but I was recording that overview video. Oh, we could work on April Fool's things too. Yeah, we're like a week out. We can get it. We get in early. Well, thank you, Jerry. Yeah, it's a collarless shirt. That's always fun. That's the thing we wrote. We started 2 years ago, and we've been adding to it. No, I guess we started it a year ago. The idea was like 2 or 3 years old, but basically it's a Chrome and Firefox extension that does a lot of silly things to the person's browser. Welcome in, Amasil. Glad to see you. And or couldn't. Thank you for the Prime. Let's do this. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I guess to kill time, let's make a timer. Let's just make a React app. Here we go, right here, right now. Let's do it. We'll use Vite. And timer, go. We'll run this command. Yeah, what's up, Max Cahill? What's my opinion on Nest? Very excited to know my thoughts. It seems fine. It's very enterprisey. In that it feels very similar to a lot of like Java or C# backend frameworks. Or if you're familiar with Angular, it kind of feels like that as well. But these days, I'm more of the opinion that any structure that a framework provides is good, because most of the things in the JavaScript ecosystem don't provide any kind of structure or opinions on how you should do things, and most code bases are just a hot mess a big old hot mess. So in general, Nest.js is going to make it so that we'll make it so that your code is more organized and it has more opinions and stuff like that. Okay, project countdown timer. We're gonna use React. We'll try SWC. We're not gonna do anything special. So SWC is Speedy Web Compiler. Let's go. Install dependencies. I guess we could get Prettier set up, but we'll get Prettier installed, but we won't do ESLint. We'll just do Prettier. So that way we get some formatting. And we'll do format on save. It's gonna be easy. Check it out. We get ourselves a little config, but look, we'll be done with the config in 2 minutes flat, if that, even less than that. So create a Prettier RC, and then throw that in there, and then choose my default. So I want a 2-space tab, and I do want semicolons. And then I want VS Code to format on save. So I'm gonna add a settings.json right here. Format. Editor.format on save, true. So now, because we have Prettier set up, and I guess we'll also do I need to install it? Sure, we'll install it as a dev dependency. But now, for instance, if I go in here and I save it, it had added all the semicolons. You see that? Save, semicolons, that's all we need. And then we need a React app. Let's rip out all of the styles, so all of that goes away. We'll delete the app CSS. And honestly, let's use Tailwind. Let's use Tailwind. So how does Tailwind work? I don't know. Installation. Quick stretch. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's use Uno. Uno is cooler, if you haven't heard of it. It's not, I don't know if I can say it's cooler. It's cool. It's a cool project. It's from Antfu, who's done a ton of stuff in the Vue ecosystem. This person. But essentially, it's Tailwind compatible. Well, here's the thing. So if you watch the video that I did on YouTube, Tailwind actually made a ton of sense for this slide deck that I made. So I'll show you like this here. So this is Markdown, but I added Tailwind to the project, so I was able to add little styles, like to create these little boxes, and then like this whole thing was built with Tailwind, and it made a whole lot of sense, like, because if I'm already writing my slides with HTML and Markdown, if I just have Tailwind, then it makes it really easy to style these things and all of that. I literally recorded this 30 minutes ago, or an hour ago. So yeah, I'm coming around to Tailwind. The thing, like, Tailwind is really great for rapid prototyping. I'm not sure yet on large projects with Tailwind. We'll see, but for rapid prototyping, you really can't beat it. Yeah. Am I up to explain basic GitHub branches and pull requests? I probably have a video on it already, Q21. Let me get Uno CSS set up, and then we'll go from there. So we need to install the Vite plugin for it. And the thing itself. Here we go. And then we'll bring it into our Vite config. What just happened? Oh, it's just Uno CSS. Because Vite auto gets installed with the dependency. We're gonna make a countdown timer. Super basic, but basically I'll pass in the number of seconds and it'll start counting down. Bring that in. Bring that in. Define the config. I don't think I want to do attributify. I just want like the base Uno preset. I guess technically I can bring in the Tailwind preset. It's equivalent to preset Tailwind. Yeah, I think this is all I need. It just like a little standalone React app with a countdown timer. Nothing crazy. What's up, Bob? Welcome in. Let's see if it works. First of all, that should get formatted. And then you know, then we don't have to do anything if we just use this. I'm gonna write it from scratch. I mean, I think that's the entertaining factor, is you get to see me build this thing. All right. I guess I'm curious. Do I have the Tailwind plugin? So if I do class name here, and then do like BG. Oh, but then I don't have a Tailwind config, so the Tailwind plugin doesn't know that it should show up. It should start doing its thing. Should I create a Tailwind config? I guess I'm not going to use Uno. I want the editor to just do all the things. I don't want to have to add a bunch of other configs, so we're actually going to remove all this and then just get the basic Tailwind set up. There might be. I'm already down the path. Like I'm basically in a mood where I'm not gonna. I mean, honestly, we could go down rabbit holes. We absolutely could, but I'm gonna do what works, and I'm not gonna fight it. This is tailwind.config. You get the autocomplete by just adding it? Well, nobody told me that. It might have said it in the docs, but. I have like an index.css that has this. Start the Tailwind build process. We want the Vite one. So we apparently need both CSS and auto prefixer. Yeah, the whole point is just for me to build something today, right now, Murdoch. That's it. Better? 2 minutes on the config. All right, I think we're at the point where it should work now. I might need to reload my editor. And then over here, I'm importing index.css. Good. Unknown rule. I need to re-enable the post CSS extension. Cool. Start it up. All right, now moment of truth. Do we get Tailwind? We do. I need to style the root. I guess technically I could probably use it over here, right? Like width full and height full. And then on the body, oh yeah, we're in HTML now. How do I do the viewport width? Width screen. Yeah. Those classes don't work in the HTML? Did I not add the Vite plugin? Why is it so hard? Yeah, so index.css gets all of this, and then that gets imported in here. Oh, glad to hear him, Pablo. The problem, the project is in React and you have 0 experience. Well, or sorry, the project is in Java and he did it anyways. Are all of the people on your team Java developers? I don't know. Do your best, Pablo, and also like empower the people on your team. Like if they are Java developers and they know what they're doing, give them the tools required to get their job done, and you're just there to make sure it happens. The thing is, like, I feel like on the element itself, no, like these classes aren't being loaded. Oh, is it because I'm using SWC instead of the regular plugin React? That would be crazy if it is. Yeah, I think I could see that, Pablo, like not knowing what the right libraries are to choose for Java and stuff like that. I feel like because Java is the way it is, there's less opinions, I guess, or less decisions about what you should be using. Rye Ross says, I like Tailwind, but I don't think I've never not had an issue getting it all set up. So first of all, the fact that when I click this element and I do not see a Tailwind class loaded here, or I don't see one loaded here, tells me Tailwind is not running at all. So what we're gonna do is wipe this project out and start over to make sure we didn't do anything too weird. We're gonna start from the beginning, and it's gonna be great. So the first thing we did was we generated a Vite app. Yeah, so what Walid is telling me is that we should choose the React template. I did that. I think the one difference this time is I'm going to choose this one instead of React, instead of SWC. I don't know if that was the issue, but we'll see. And then we have an app. So this is like, hey, generate the app. And then now we need the dependencies. And then we'll init tailwind. We'll put this into our tailwind.config.cjs. SWC is Speedy Web Compiler. It's written in Rust. And it is essentially a replacement for like rollup and an ES build. All right, now over here, we add this, we get rid of everything else. We get rid of this. We get rid of all this. And it should just work. I didn't save the beat when I changed the plugin? Okay, that's a possibility. No utility classes were detected in your source files. It's working now. It's working now. I'm gonna say that it was SWC. That's why it was broken. Yeah, but check it out. If I add a little paragraph tag and we say, well, I don't want an emoji. Text XL 8XL. What? It works. I think it was SWC. I think it wasn't working because of SWC. Let's get a prettier file. We'll do it again. I like calling it. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Two space tab, semicolons. And then someone mentioned there's a Tailwind prettier plugin. So we'll get that. Oh, you could do it either way. So I've always called it prettierrc.cjs, but the docs just said we could do it this way. And all of a sudden, I think I like it because the rest of them are named in the same way. And then in our prettier config, we add the plugin. And everything will just work. Everything will just work. Beautiful. And lastly, let's make it format on save. No, but this is it. We're done. There's nothing else we will do. It will just work. And now I should be able to do what I was trying earlier. So the body should take up the full page. So width, screen, height screen. The div should take up 100% of that. And then over here, same thing, 100%. Was I in the ID field? You know. Good call. Good call. Good call. All right. And if I give this a background slate 900. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we can do text. Text neutral tone 300. We got it working, but that was entirely too difficult. I don't know why I run into so many issues these days. Oh well. Experience with Tailwind, it's for the places where it makes sense to use, it's great. It's great if you're, it's great. But I'm not sure if I want to use it everywhere, but for the times when it makes sense, it makes sense. Yeah, we try to get a font now? No. We probably will. Because I think we do need a font at this point. We want a countdown timer. What do we want? We want to be able to grab the number of seconds from the URL and then use that to set the initial time of the countdown. So let's do this. We'll say params is a new URL search params. So this is just built into the browser. And then the seconds are going to be if we have, what do we call it? We'll call it time. And either that or we'll default to like 60 seconds. Put that into a number. So that's going to give us total number of seconds, and then we'll have when the component mounts. Well, I guess this doesn't even need to be a state variable. We can actually say this. The end time is going to be a new date plus number of seconds times 1000. So the number of milliseconds, that will be when this thing will end. Yeah, I think at that point we would need a library if we want a parser for like 15 minutes or 60 seconds. Yeah. Now, I would say the only downsides to Nux right now...
You're being much better at Tailwind than I am, LOL.
Thank you, Irasa. You're too kind. No, I think the only downside of Nux right now is Nux 3 is fairly new. And so the ecosystem is trying to catch up, like all of the community packages and everything. From what I've seen, like, Nuxt is ahead of the game compared to like SvelteKit and Remix and Next.js. Nuxt is doing some really cool things that everyone else could definitely learn from. I think ultimately, like, a lot of people were just like turned off from Vue. So yeah. Okay, so we have the end time when the page loads, and then we'll just have, let's say, seconds left. Starts off as the number of seconds you want this to go for, and then we are going to start counting down. So every half a second, we will update the UI to say how many seconds are left. This gives us back the interval ID, and then for this use effect, we need to clear that. Clear interval whenever the component is unmounted. And now every 500 milliseconds, seconds left, it's set to a time calculation. So set seconds left. And we do this to say in time minus right now. So in time minus the time it is right now, divided by 1,000. That will give us the number of seconds left. Right? Easy. And then in the UI, we just display the number of seconds left. Done. Nice. Nice. We can floor it. But now if I do this, if I load the page and I say like time equals 120, it should have defaulted to that. I mean, yeah, the thing is like, honestly, you could do it every second, but it's important to note that this function in the most ideal case is going to run every second, which is why I run it every 500 milliseconds, because I want it to be accurate. Like, it'll still look fine if we do it every second. But yeah, but the thing is, it is real time. So you'll notice I'm not taking a state variable and then just decreasing it by 1. We very clearly set the end time, and then we're just calculating it on each of the iterations. So like if I do this every 5 seconds, the UI only updates every 5 seconds, but the underlying timer is still correct. See, right? The UI just isn't updating constantly, which is why I do like this. I don't know. All right. What did I supposed to? So if we get the time from the search params, then we get seconds left. That isn't working. Let's make sure that that works. Alka says 200, and I'm gonna listen. Maybe I did this wrong. It's null. Why is that null? Oh, I have to literally, I have to pass in the search params. They're not automatic. So I have to pass in window.location .search. And now we get a 500-second timer. All right. Nice, nice. And so like if I pass in 120, then it's a 120-second timer. The other thing we could do is like we could add 1 to the number of seconds, because that way you have like a split second when the timer loads. You see how it's like 121? Cool. Displayed in the title? Heck yeah, heck yeah. So like right here, we'll just do window.title is left. Document.title. It's like, thanks, Alka. Look at that. We're moving right along. Yeah, so let's talk about search param. So if you look in JavaScript, window.location, it has a bunch of stuff on it. So it's got the host name, the full URL, the origin, the port, but it also breaks apart the search. So anything after the question mark is the search, and that gives you access to that. And then when you pass it into URL search params, that gives you back this thing where you can query it. And URL search params is just built into the web browser. So every web browser implements this, so it's just a global variable that I can access. Like this. It used to be that you had to bring in a separate library for this. Like there's like a library called like query string that a lot of people used to bring into React apps. You don't need to do that anymore because it's just built into web browsers. Yeah. Number is not assignable to type string. You're not wrong. Cool. At this point, we just need to turn the number of seconds into hours, minutes, seconds. You're using the URL deconstructor and then search params. Yeah, basically, I'm just immediately accessing the search prop. Thank you for the bits. You're too kind. You're too kind. Okay, what are we doing now? Yeah, let's turn seconds into hours, minutes, and seconds. Right? Right. So, hours is going to be the amount of time left divided by 60. Divided by 60 is going to give us the number of minutes. And then divided by 60 again would give us the number of hours. And then minutes would be we could do that. We'll just have to parse it whenever it comes in and turn it into seconds. There's probably already a library that does this, but yeah, we could also get like a time formatter. Honestly, this is a nice project to just like doing the maths yourself and also like doing the parsing. But I have to think through this. I can't. Honestly, the music's a little too loud. I can't. What needs to happen? So we calculated the number of hours. It's time left, which is time in seconds, divided by 60 would give you the number of minutes. Divide that by 60 would give you the number of hours. Great. You take time left, divide it by 60. I guess you're right. If we used two locales time stream, it would just give us the timestamp. It's fine. But yeah, just 7 stars. I think you got it. So now when we divide by 60, that gives us total number of minutes. And we want the remainder of the division by 60 to get the number of minutes left over from the hours. And then the seconds, it's going to be the number of seconds left after that. I can't think right now. I've done this calculation before, but like my mind won't even go to what math needs to happen here. I don't think it would be like mod 60 because if you have total amount of time left, the remainder of the division by 60, did I do this yesterday? I feel like I did something similar yesterday. I don't think it was this exactly. We can ask ChatGPT. This is the perfect time to ask ChatGPT. Yeah, yesterday we just got days. We need, well, ChatGPT is at capacity. Can we ask Bing Chat? I also could just look it up on Stack Overflow. I don't feel like programming right now. Who can tell me? I have total number of seconds. I need to calculate how many hours are in that, how many minutes are in that, and how many seconds are in that. What is the math that I need on this line right here on line 60? It's not a bug, it's just I literally cannot think what the math would be. Is it left divided by 60 mod 60? Oh, okay, thank you, Malka. Yes, that's it. You just mod 60 because the remainder of the division by 60 will give you the leftover seconds. Right? Right? Okay, so now we can create ourselves a little date string, a little time string here. We can say we get hours, and then minutes, and then seconds. And then also seconds left will just default to the empty string, and we'll set it to the time string. And now the UI will just display that. Yeah, easy. So, for instance, if I do like 20 seconds, then it's there. Now we need to pad the number. Exactly, pad start. But if I do like 500 seconds, that's 8 minutes and 20 seconds apparently. Easy. Let's make a little util function for padding. I guess would that do it too, Acid Spark? Turn it into a string and then just get the hours, minutes, seconds. I've written too much code. We can't go back now. Yeah, pad number. This takes in a number, which is of type number. We'll call it value, not be confusing. And then this just returns value, toString, add start. We want to up to 2 with the number 0. Cool. So now each of these gets padded. And we've done it. But we could also say, like, if number of hours is 0, then we actually don't even want that on there at all. Thinking like this, let's do this. So like we got more work to do. We need to stop the timer when it hits 0, change the font, change the style. But let's do this: hours, minutes, and seconds. And then we map that over pad number, and we join that all together with colons. So I think I like this better than doing the template literal. It's a little less messy. This should do the same thing, and it does. Line 18, this one? So we have hours, minutes, seconds. We want to pad each of them and then put it all together. What's up, Limos? But I guess what we could do is we could say this. Put this in parts, and then if hours, yeah, we're moving on from very large timer. That's our plan. If hours is 0, then remove it. So parts dot shift. I do believe shift removes the first element from the array. Great. And then if minutes equals 0, remove that. Wait. We only do that if we removed the hours, because if we didn't remove the hours, then we want to keep the minutes. Right? Right? And then it all just works like that. So if we do 20 seconds, we don't even want to see minutes. But if I do 120, we should see 1 minute, however many seconds. And if we do an hour, which I don't know how many seconds that is, then we'll see that. Do 65 seconds. Seems to work. Also, I don't think we want to remove it if it starts that way. Right? So like the fact that this starts like this, when it gets to here, it should keep the 2 prefixed. So I think we're actually going to do that first. So 100% agree. All right, let's figure out how we're going to do that. So I think we kind of need to calculate this when the page loads. Yeah, I'm gonna refactor this into a function so I can call it from both places. So it'll be something like get parts. You pass in the number of seconds left, and that gives you these things. So parts. And we have get parts, which takes in the value, which is a number in seconds, and then does this business. So that still works great. We also, I guess, need to calculate this. So we get the in time, and then we get the seconds left at the beginning. Let's put this in a variable called now. Like this. Easy. I will refactor this right now actually. And shout out to our good friend Coding Train, who has the I will refactor this later song. I haven't gotten to watch the Coding Train in a while. But yeah, okay, so when the page loads, we need to determine how many parts there are going to be, and then we'll set that as like a variable that we can use every time we call this function. So when the page loads, we have seconds left, and then we'll say parts is get parts with seconds left. And we'll say if parts at 0 is equal to 0, and parts at 1 is equal to 0, then we need some kind of variable like num parts that defaults to 3. So by default, we have hours, minutes, seconds. But if both the hour and the minutes are 0, then number of parts is just going to be seconds. It's just going to be 1. Else, if just the hour is 0, then we only want 2 parts. Right? Right? I think. Because if the hours are 0, and the minutes were not 0, then we want 2 parts. All right, so this should be fine. But now we can take into account the number of parts every time we call this function. So if numparts is equal to 3, we return that. If it's equal to 2, we return that. And otherwise, we only return the seconds. Easy. We've done it. So now, because this starts off with minutes and seconds, when we get here, we hold on to minutes and seconds. But if we have a lower number like 55, it's only seconds. And if we have something with an hour like this, it keeps all of them there. Welcome in, Ched. Is this chill though? I've already ran into issues, a lot of issues. But yeah, I'm making a timer for the starting screen. Cool. All right. If the timer gets to 0, we need to stop. So, hacking and chilling. So yeah, if left is less than or equal to 0, yeah, so we'll do some parsing next, but I need to kill the timer once it hits 0. We're just going to clear the interval for that interval ID like that. Instead of returning, set left to 0. I like that. It should work though, because we're flooring it. Yeah, we're flooring it, right? Right? Let's just test really quick. Like 2 seconds left. No, not 20. 2. Stops. It's done. But 61 seconds left. Yeah. How do I check if the interval is still active? Well, I don't know if you can, but I do know that with JavaScript, this will not throw an error if you pass it an interval that's already expired or whatever else. So, yeah, you can pass undefined to this function and it won't throw an error. I think TypeScript. Yeah, look at that. Number or undefined. Yeah, so this value here it's just a number. I don't know if there's a way to look at it. Oh, then set it false when you clear it. That makes sense. I've just cleared it. I've never reset the value. Cause yeah, okay. Let's make this a monospace font. Nice. Looking good. Oh, if you want to know what's I see. Yeah, so if you want to know, is this thing running or not? Yeah, that's definitely a way to do it, for sure. Cool. Yeah, now let's do all kinds of options and parameters. Font variadic numeric tabular nums. What? What is that, Alka? Now let's write it in Rust. Oh, I see. So you could use a monospace font, set this to tabular nums, and then it'll still work with, sorry, with a non-monospace font, it'll still work. I see. That's pretty cool. Honestly, let's do this, and then let's use the Coding Garden font. The font has to support it. Let's see. So the font that I like is called Glacial Indifference, which is like an open version of Futura Bold. Here, this thing. Let's see if this supports it. Non-monospace font. I learned yesterday that you can do this. So check this out. I'm gonna add this as a link over here. And then there's actually a way in Tailwind to use a custom font name that's available that is available. So if I want this to, if I want to grab this font name, Glacial Indifference Bold, Tailwind, you can specify the font family directly. So a polyspace font, font dash brackets quotes the name of the font. So instead of font mono, if I do font dash Glacial Indifference Bold, that'll use that font. Look at that. That's cool. That looks like Coding Garden, doesn't it? I guess. I don't know. The hotkey to break a tag into multiple lines. Oh, I just set up format on save. Yeah, so if you write code that looks like this, and I press save, Prettier kicks in and formats it. So it's two parts. Exactly, Dr. Stu. Well, do you like this font? I like Glacial Indifference. But yeah, so I have a Prettier config that has my base settings, and then in VS Code you can set the setting format on save. Cool. Oh yeah, I'll take a look, Timon. When do we have to use callback? If you're trying to performance optimize a component, or you see that a component is so like if you see a component is rendering more often than you'd like it to, it might make sense to use callback. I think that's the general guidance. A lot of people have written articles about and have done performance testing where, like, if you use callback too much, you'll actually have worse performance. So you have to specifically choose the right times to use it. But essentially, if you have a click callback handler, like this, this technically you could put this into a use callback. I mean, the other way to write this is like, you could put it in a function like this, but it's important to note that React is gonna re-render it. It re-renders a lot, and not that it updates the page a lot. It re-renders to see if it should update the page. So every time this component re-renders, every time this function reruns, this gets redefined, right? Because I'm literally defining it right here, so it literally in memory has to define that function, which means on every iteration it redefines it and then resets that click handler. If and when you pass this into use callback, now, and you also say it's not dependent on anything, empty dependency array, now React will only create that, recreate that whenever the dependencies have changed. So technically this is like a slight performance thing because now this function isn't gonna get recreated on every render. But like I said, there's caveats to it. Like a scenario like this, you actually won't benefit from it. And a lot of people recommend, just do this because it's okay to redefine that function over and over again. Yeah. Do I often use the use memo hook? I try to. I think that's the other thing. And honestly, this is like it's one of the detriments of React, right? Because like because there can't just be guidance that says, yeah, anytime you have a callback, just use callback. It gets confusing for a lot of people because they're like, well, when do I use it? When do I not use it? Same thing happens with use memo. Like technically, like this piece here where I'm recalculating the string, I could potentially do a use memo for this, where if the number of seconds left changes, then we recalculate what the displayed string should be. But in a way, using use effect, I have essentially created like a memoized thing, and really my only state variable is a string. But then people, you can look at articles people write about it as well, and they say, well, if you use memo too much, then your performance will be worse because you only need to memoize things that are like really performant or really calculations that require a lot of CPU cycles or whatever else. Yeah, and so I think that's a good way to put it, Codex. Thank you for saying that. Like, essentially, the general guidance is don't use either of those things unless you start to notice performance issues. Which honestly it's horrible, but that's just the way things are in the React world. Because you could contrast that with something like Vue.js, where computed properties are built in. That's comparable to something like use memo. And if you need a computed property, you just use a computed property, and Vue does the right thing. The other thing is, like in Vue, when you define a click handler or something like that, it's never getting defined on every render because of the way the component is structured. Similar idea in Svelte. And Nolan chairs. Oh, no lawn chairs. Nolan. I'm gonna call you Nolan. No lawn chairs. Thank you for the sub. Welcome in. Then by default, is it recommended to use state and use effect? Yes, I think you can go with the guidance that yes, if you need state variables, use state. You don't have to worry about performance things. If you need to do things based on if your state values or any other dependencies change, you use effect. Absolutely. Yes, these are the two things that you don't really have to think about, should I use these or not? This is how you react. You use state and you use effect. All right. Let's get more query parameters. So what I want to be able to do, oh, signals, it's a huge timer. Yeah, use context, use reducer. Both of those don't have any performance implications. You just use them if you need them. Yeah, no, it would be Isra Wazel. If you're trying to replicate a computed property from Vue in React, you would use memo. However, the general guidance is if it's not something that's a complex operation, then you shouldn't use memo. Whereas in Vue, anything that's computed is computed. It doesn't matter what. But that would be the comparable thing for sure. We didn't get to try that font thing. This thing, font variant numeric. Does Tailwind? They've thought of everything. They've thought of everything. Literally, a CSS property called tabular nums would get this for us. See if it supports it. It does. Check it out. If I take this class off, or maybe it doesn't. It does nothing. This font does not support it, but that's okay. That's okay. It is, if the font supports it, then it'll take a font that is not monospaced and make it so that the numbers all take up the same amount of space. So that way, like if you have a table of numbers, all of the things line up. So you'll see, like, because this is a font where like that 7 is wider than the number 1, when it's normally rendered out, they don't line up. But if we choose tabular, now every number takes up the same amount of width. Yeah, and yeah, I was just seeing, is this a variable width font? It's not. It is not. What would I recommend a fresh CS graduate to learn right now to get hired? It's going to depend where you are in the world and like what you want to do. I would say like, so I do a lot of web development. I have a computer science degree. Initially, when I got into the industry, I was doing desktop development, and then I shifted into full stack web development. Because pretty much anything you want to build, you can build with web technologies, and I like that. But yeah, full stack developer intern. Like, are you saying like that's a potential job that they could look for, or things they could look into? But yeah, I would research full stack development. It probably wouldn't hurt to learn React, but it really depends what you want to do, because so with a computer science degree, you can do a lot of things. You could be a embedded programmer, and then in that case, you're never going to touch web development. You're doing like C and C++. You're writing code that's like really close to the metal, and that's one thing. You also could potentially be a native developer, like building iOS apps or Android apps. Those both have different languages and frameworks you could be working in. You could be doing number crunching and data science type stuff. Typically, Python is used for a lot of that. So it depends. It really depends. I would look into what are the jobs in your area, what are the kind of companies that you work at, and let that inform potentially what you learn to try to get a job. Yeah, well, they might have just gotten here, but look at all this React code we just wrote. Yeah, we made this little timer. What we're about to do, so what we did is you can pass in the time in the URL, and then it automatically starts a timer with that, like this. And so you pass in number of seconds, like that. But what we want to do next is I want to be able to pass in something like hours 5. And then if I do that, it should automatically parse that and figure out the right thing to do. Why is it counting down so fast? Is it? Is it? Oh yeah, and we want to do format strings. Oh no, it doesn't work yet. That's why it doesn't work yet. I need to implement the code to do that. Yeah, that's another good point. I always forget to mention PHP, but there's a lot of jobs doing PHP as well. In modern PHP with like Laravel and Symfony, is just as good as like working in a Node.js backend or something like that. So yeah. A review of what we built? Yeah, I'll do a review and then we'll add some more parameters in there. But I guess also before I do that, Timon, if you're here, I'll take a look at the code that you wrote. Because yeah, Timon said they made one that is customizable using vanilla.js. Yeah, Django with Python, Ruby on Rails. Ruby on Rails is not dead. I feel like there are less companies that are choosing Ruby on Rails for any new project, but there are a lot of startups that came about like roughly 10 or so years ago, a little less than 10 years ago, that were built with Ruby on Rails and are still being maintained and built with that. And any consultancy or dev shop or company that already chose Ruby on Rails might actually choose Ruby on Rails for a newer project, but it is less popular. I wouldn't call it dead though, because it's still being maintained. People still use it. All right, let's see what Timon did. Grab the params. If it has a date, get it, and you're basically passing the end date of when the timer should end. Grab all of the elements, and then on each iteration of the time step, how much time is left. Put the locale time stream there. Do it again in 1 second. There's more params though, so you can set the background color, the font size, the font family. That's cool. I like it. I like it, Timon. This is cool. We're gonna add some arguments like this as well to ours. Huge timer. All right, let's start to parse some of these other things. So, let's do this huge. How do I want to do this? Glad to hear it, Donnie. Welcome in. When the page loads, we'll default to saying, all right, it's going to be in 60 seconds. But then we'll say, if hour. And I honestly want to turn the params into an object so I don't have to do this get thing. Let's do this. So params is going to be object.from entries. This. I think this will work. And right here we can just do params.time. What's up, Kalman? Welcome in as well. And then if params.hour is a thing, we'll handle that. But I think this will give us all the params as an object. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. So like hours 5. Beautiful. And so if hours was defined, reset the number of seconds to 0, and then say, well, no. We'll, what do I want to do here? I am not Turkish. No, do I look like it? Is it the clothes that I'm wearing? Make a Zod validator? Nah. I mean, we could, but we're making a countdown timer. So what we've done so far, you can pass in seconds, and it'll start counting down from those number of seconds like that. But what we want to do now is we want to be able to, instead of passing in seconds, we just want to pass in like hours, minutes, seconds, like that. And then it should take all of those into account. And honestly, that makes me think we should just do this. So instead of specifying time, we specify seconds, and that way we can just add on to this if you've also specified hours. Honestly, this is the easiest way to go. And the code is already done. I've written it in my head already, because we parse seconds by default, or just say there's going to be 60 seconds. Do we do that? Because if they didn't specify seconds, then seconds should actually be 0. Oh well, never mind. Let's just say this. If you specified hours, then seconds need to be increased by the number of hours times 60 seconds to 60 to get number of minutes times 60 to get number of seconds. And then if minutes is a thing, then we do minutes times 60. Like that. So honestly, this should just work now. Yeah, so if I do 5 hours, 20 minutes, seconds as 50, it just works. And if I don't pass anything in, it defaults to 60 seconds. Well, we'll do both codecs. So yeah, now that we got this working, we can also just look at a time string. The issue, however, is if I don't specify seconds, if I just do like 5 hours, 20 minutes, you see that we get that, So honestly, let's just do this, and we'll default this to 0 if you don't specify it. That's better, because now 5 hours, 20 minutes just works. And if you pass in nothing, it doesn't do anything. So I won't make a stop start button because I'm actually going to use this in my as an overlay. But yeah, it should work now to do like hours 5 and seconds 10. So even if I don't specify minutes, it still works because we skipped that thing. Negative. If you do negative, it's just done. It's just done because we've already said if the timer ever goes below 0, stop it. Just stop it. So yeah, I think we've handled that. But now let's handle this. If you pass in a time string, we need to parse it. I was just trying to get Alka's time stream example. I don't know why, I could just type it out. If you put more than 59 seconds, it auto converts it. So if I say seconds 9,000, it'll automatically convert 90,000. It'll automatically convert 90,000 seconds into hours, minutes, seconds. The title had negative numbers? We need to update the title then. You're right. Okay. There we go. That should handle it. Huge timer. You could do positive hours, but negative minutes or seconds. Sure. Because I base everything on seconds, it should still work. So if I do 5 hours, negative 10 seconds, what did that do? It just didn't even take into account negative 10. I guess 5 hours minus 10,000 seconds, it's doing something. I think it's fine. Subtracted 10 seconds? I guess that's fine. Who's gonna pass in negative time, right? Who's gonna do that? Isn't React reactive? How come you have to update huge timer in 2 places? I didn't do any sort. There's no sort of binding to the document title. Yeah, if you pass in negative time, that's on you. Yeah, I don't want to validate it. I'm like one of the only users of this thing that I'm building right now. But yeah, if you pass in something, you're gonna get nan. If you pass in a banana for the seconds, nan. So there's that. I feel like actually, if I did a parse int, I think that will behave better than number, right? So if I do parse int. No, this gives us back nan too. Is there like a safe parse? I could write my own. But yeah, so if we have to use isNan, then we need like a little function. Let's make a safe parse number. And so this takes in a value, which is a string. And if isNan of value, then 0. Otherwise, pass it into the number constructor. No TypeScript. That can't be right. isNan takes a number? Okay, so I guess the way that I've always used isNan is it actually coerces the string, which if coerced gets turned in. So I guess what we want is number.isNan. But the thing is, this will specifically only return if the value is actually nan. It won't do any sort of parsing for us. So yeah, we need to parse the value. And if that is nan, 0, Otherwise, turn it into a number. But then, like, I don't want to do double the work, so we'll put it in a variable. Like this. Oh, thank you, B. Holmes, and welcome in. How you doing? Shouts out. Thanks for dropping by. Are they chill though? I feel like I'm a bit manic. Okay, so at this point, I'm just gonna do a standard. Well, no, I guess we can return the ternary there. And the only reason I made it a 2-liner is so that I don't have to do number value 2 times. But now we can do this. And then I don't have to do that. Yeah. AstroCore stuff, nice. If parsed equals parsed, then parsed. Then we don't have to use isnan. You're totally right. Well, no, we couldn't do triple equals. We'd have to do double equals. Yeah. All right, this should work. Basically what we just did is now when we pass in seconds as banana, it just ignores that and it's only 5 hours. All right, last thing is let's do a time string. So, so if params.time, and we need to parse it. So this is going to give us the hours, minutes, seconds. Do we do it with the regular expression? Oh, I see. So instead of doing is nan, by comparing it to itself, because nan is never equal to itself, then it would work. I don't know. I don't know, but we could do a. Do we want to do a regular expression right here? Because we could say like 0 or more, like 1 or more digit hours. 1 or more digit minute, 1 or more digit second. Is that what we're looking at? Can you send your time string again, Alka? I keep going. Yeah, so that's what we need. We need to fix this so that it's not all required, or think about how we're going to parse it in that case. Far too little time. Do I? I feel like I do regular expressions every now and then, but okay, we'll do it. Is there a time in which my answer questions that don't relate to the timer? I typically the stream will be called a code Q&A. We're definitely going to do one next week. If you keep an eye on the schedule, probably like Wednesday or Thursday next week, we'll do a Q&A stream. If you catch me in an hour and I'm not busy, I'm open to answering your questions, but I want to get this working really quick. Like this. This is basically what we're trying to match against. But we also need to account for a string that looks like that, and then a string that looks like that. I don't think it's valid. Is it valid? It's not valid to leave one off, is it? Later. Like you wouldn't do 10 hours, 53 seconds. Is this a valid time string? Is this a valid time string? Isn't there a format for it? Oh, I like that, Dr. Thu. Let me see if I can come up with that myself. I'm really struggling to choose between web dev or mobile iOS native dev. Can you give me any advice? It depends on what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to find a job, look for jobs in your area that potentially hire native mobile developers or hired web developers, and then you can choose from there. If you already know web dev, then it's pretty easy to jump into something like React Native or Ionic. If you don't know it and you just want to start building native apps, maybe you could just jump into Swift for iOS. Don't know. So technically what you're saying is technically you can have hours seconds. Match the groups, then you don't have to, it doesn't matter what order they're in. Cool. I will do that. Does anyone know what is the name of, I'm pretty sure there's an ISO specification for like duration string. What is it called? Standard time span format strings? ISO 8601? Date and time format? I don't think so. Time span format string? Here. But it's not either of those because it's like the abbreviation. Is it duration? What's up, Sinkovich? Welcome in. So in ISO 861, you use P. P is the duration designator for period. Places the start of the duration representation. Well, but this is saying capital H, capital M, and capital S. Like, yeah, I've seen this before. I've seen this in the YouTube API. Like, the YouTube API specifies the length of a video using this format string, like with the P. So is this not a standard, like lowercase h, m, and s? Okay. I just wanted to see if there's like, oh no, I closed my chat. I wanted to see if there's a special use case that, or any sort of like edge cases I need to account for. But if we just assume M, S, and H all stand for hours, minutes, seconds, that should be easy enough to parse. Okay. Now, someone mentioned a matching group. I don't know what that is, so we're gonna look it up. Regex matching group? Wait, a group is parentheses. What's the curly brace in regular expressions? Capture group? Repetition count. just match digits and assume based on length if it's hours, minutes, seconds. Well, what we just determined is that you can specify hours and seconds and not minutes. So that would throw us off, I feel like. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of, like, but I guess if we do it this way, then the order matters. It has to be hours, minutes, seconds, and then we could, and then we could make some of these optional. Like if we made, is that how I do that? Make that optional. Which means then you could just do minutes, seconds, and like these are optional, and this is optional, and this is optional. Let's see what this does. The question mark just means it doesn't have to be there. I'm pretty sure it's optional. So if I do like time equals 10h 5 minutes 20 seconds. Syntax error, nothing to repeat. Does that need to be optional? Yeah, put it in a group to make the whole, yeah, so this is optional. The whole thing. Regex101.com. It really does not like my regular expression here. Oh, that, not that. Here's the thing. If you define it like that, honestly, okay, here's we could listen, hear me out. What if we just had multiple regular expressions, right? Like literally, what if we have one for hours, minutes, seconds, one for hours, seconds, one for seconds, hours, one for seconds, hours. Okay, now I'm realizing I don't want to do this because it's a lot of different combinations. But we could dynamically build up a regular expression based on all possible combinations like HMS, HS, SH, SH. Yeah, you know what? It is just me using this, so we're gonna assume that you do hours, minutes, seconds. That's it. You can't do anything else. Done. Why would anyone do 10 seconds, 1 hour? Because they're trying to break my parser. Can we add internationalization? No thanks. No thanks. So we'll say params.hours equals hours. That didn't work. 10 hours. I need to do this. Cool. So if you pass it, it has to be in the right order, but I could do, let's say 1 hour, 0 minutes and 5 seconds, and that will work. Yeah. Welcome in, Anpace. It's been a while because I was sick for a long time, but I started learning JavaScript and I'm on DOM section. Nice. I'd say right now I'm working on some React stuff, so it's harder to answer questions, but next week I will do a code Q&A stream. And Iser, welcome in. Silent viewer mostly, but I follow you for a long time. Nice, appreciate you. When and how do you get the course? Yeah, I think somebody did the course command. But reactroots.com has everything you need to know. And then I just published a video on YouTube about it. Here. This gives you a rundown of what the course is, when it's going to be, what will you learn, all of that. Yeah. Tanner says, shut up and take my money. That's funny. It's pinned right here. So if you click in the chat, that'll give you the YouTube video. And then all the info is over here too. The course stat overlay is broken because I couldn't figure out how to work with the SuperPair API. So, yeah. Oh yeah, we can show members though. Nice. Hours, minutes, seconds. I guess this would work. This has to be in the right order though, right? Like it can't be in, that wouldn't work for the, like a random order. Oh well, I'm happy with this. I think it's perfectly fine. Oh, that works in any order? Oh, okay, so you're getting into some regular expression territory I don't know much about, but I guess it's like a or it's like a greedy matcher. Would that be the right term? Oh, thank you, DevBoy. Yeah. All right, let's accept a color property. Thanks for the focus, Hassan Ali. We'll do a quick one. We'll do a quick one to implement a color and a background. No, so if I say color equals maroon, I want to parse that and I want to set the text color to that. And really, like, can you give me this? I'm just gonna do this as an inline style because I'm using Tailwind, I don't think I can dynamically add a Tailwind class in this way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set the color prop here to be color if they've specified it. But yeah, just to be whatever color they specify, like that. So now up here with all of the parsing, we can say so I know you can use a template string, but the idea is Tailwind compiles all of your CSS classes ahead of time. So when we deploy the app, it won't have access to other values, I do believe. We'll just do this right here. Color is params.color or this. So look at that, we got maroon. Or you could pass in green, or you could pass in wait, why did Safari just launch? Or you can pass in a hex code. Well, banana, I guess, is technically a valid hex code. Or not. Oh, the hash the hash doesn't get passed in. So at this point we would need like a color parser. So we could detect if the how do you say, if it's a hex code, then put the hash in front of it. But if it's not a hex code, then just I guess we could only accept hex codes. We'll just assume that it's always a hex code. Like this. That's the easiest way. Only allow hex codes. And now that allows me to do like that. Regular expression for color format? No, I would just expect a hex code. Because then you could do like the coding garden green. What is coding garden green? If it's a valid base 16, then add the hash. Well, the issue is like red is technically, is that not valid? Oh yeah, because it's the letter R. There's bound to be some color that is the name of a color, but is also valid hex code. So crimson won't work because R isn't a valid hex value. Right, there's bound to be some color name. Where the name of the color is also valid. Base 16? Beef. I don't think beef is a color though. Probably none. Oh well, it's only hex. It's only hex. All right, what is coding garden green? This one. So over here you can do that. You get a nice coding garden green, and then now lastly we'll specify the background color. BG color of black, like that. So background color is params.bg color. All lowercase? Yeah, all lowercase. What's up, Nishark? Or nothing. Well, that'll work then, right? And then we can set the background color of the page here. Nice. So this lets me do, oh, well, again, I guess it should be a hex code. So we'll have similar codes here. So, if you pass in the BG color, it must be hex. Otherwise, we default. But you could do that. You could do transparency, like that. And then completely transparent is that. Cool. I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like this code up here looks pretty ugly. Also, all of this code has like up here has nothing to do with React. The only React piece is every 200 milliseconds update the UI to be the latest time. All of our other code is like parsing and stuff. I guess you're right. Just don't put the... Oh, but the issue, the whole reason I went down that path is because the moment you put a hash in the URL, it's interpreted as the anchor ID, right? So if you want to specify the hash, then you'd have to URL encode it, and then that's not easy to do. I mean, I don't know what the URL encoded version of a hash is. %23. But regardless, we've done it. And so now, if I just do minutes equals 15, then we get a nice little 15-minute countdown timer. Great. Oh, except the detect hex, use that. Yeah, that's a valid option. That is. But now I can use it as an overlay over here. So like on my getting started screen, you can see I have that timer down there. It's from bigtimer.com, but now I can use my own. Let's see if it works. Oh, I didn't think about, oh, well, I'm actually like cropped this page. I guess what I could also do is I should update the, yeah, because there it is. But I should update the font size to like scale with it. Mr. Tornado, thank you for the bits. Because of you, I'm learning better, working on my project with Fresh and Dino and using Fresh Maps. To learn, nice, glad to hear it. I will say, it's an older code base. I mean, at this point, it's only a couple months old, but still, things are moving fast in the Dino and Fresh world, so definitely use it to learn the concepts. Don't focus on specifically the Fresh and the Dino aspect of it, if that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, let's change. Let's update the. I want to update the font size of this thing. And thank you for more bits. I appreciate you. Well, I guess technically I could add this timer to this scene as well. How do I set the font size to scale with the, I guess I probably want VWidth. Why is the font size not changing? Oh, because I specified it in Tailwind. Give me a second. Give me a second. I've done it. That's what I want. Because now check this out. As this gets bigger, the timer gets bigger like that. However, we need to make sure that it works with the full thing too. Yeah, so right now my font size is 40 vmin. Let's see what this does though. huge timer. Hours. Cool. Let's decrease this a little bit. 30? Yeah. Honestly, so like the fonts, the font size needs to change depending on the number of things. So, okay, I'll show my screen now. Let's say this. The font size defaults to 30 vmin, but if there are if there are hours, font size, so if there are not hours like this, font size is 40 vmin. And if there's only seconds, we can go even bigger, like 50 vmin. So check it out. With minutes and seconds, it's the full screen. With just seconds, that's pretty big. We could go even bigger. We could say 60? 70? Oh, well, I'm not using. Am I using it? Not using it. Cool. So if it's just seconds, it's the full screen. If it's minutes and seconds, it's the full screen. And if it is hours and minutes and seconds, it's the full screen. Beautiful. Count the characters in the string and then do some math. It's probably the best way to go, but this seems fine. We just use vmin. It looks ominous, like it's counting down. So we just use vmin and then change the vmin depending on the number of parts. So should be good. So now over here on the countdown screen, just 15 minutes will look like that. And then I'll also change the width and height. So oh, that's not good. Instead of vmin, I want view width. It's always got to be based on the width, not on the vmin. Yeah, I added center off screen, but this text is now in the center. But now things are gonna need to change a little bit. So when it's 3 parts, it needs to be even less than that. 20? Yeah, 20. And when it's 2, and if it's 1, seems fine. Okay. Yeah, like that. Nice, nice. I can increase the background opacity. So what I did is I just specified the background opacity to be like really see-through. But instead, if we do like that, that's too much. Oh, I need to get closer to full. Oh. Did I add? Oh, you know what I did? I already added opacity to it. I don't need to do that. Yeah, like that. Okay, I need to center it on the page also because apparently I'm not doing that. So I'm just gonna make it a flex box with vertical alignment. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Also, let's give the body some border radius. That's not what I wanted. All right. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be the body. It would be the container div. But honestly, I'm happy with that. I guess it doesn't necessarily need border radius. I should probably add border radius. All right. The other thing I'm going to do is, I don't want it to say huge timer. That was a fun joke, but I think when it hits 0, time's up. We do this. Well, I guess the other thing is I don't want to message anymore because then I have to... Scuba Steve! Thanks for the Prime. Appreciate you. But... what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't want to param for the message because then I have to change the font size because the message could be too long. And I don't want to calculate the font size for that. Check out SVG. Oh, bit text with SVG. Oh, that's really cool. I had no idea you could do that. Seriously? But where do you specify the width? Is it this? Yeah. I guess I just don't, I don't know what the update that would be. Oh no, somebody redeemed a focus mode. I guess we're out of it by this point. But yeah, I guess you'd have to calculate this. So this could work if we just figured out what are the 3 view boxes. I don't know. 24, 24? Oh, Canvas has measure text. Nice. I'm okay with this. And then I feel like I think we should be able to get border radius though. Let me see really quick. How do you what's border radius in Tailwind? Oh, rounded. Okay. Is that even doing anything? I think I actually need to make the the background only be the element. Check it. Check it. And we'll change the padding. Checking it. Why is that not working? Oh, it is. It's just not much. And then that's rounded full. We only get medium, large, and full. I don't want that. I want probably like a specific number of pixels. Yeah, like that. And then we'll also add some padding. Beautiful. I guess. more border radius? No, that's too much. That also feels like too much. I feel like, yeah. It's not rounding the top and bottom corner? Oh, yeah, so the container is potentially cutting it off. Yeah, you're right. 'Cause if you look at it here, it looks fine. Looks fine, but the source isn't big enough, so it cuts it off. Let's see. Yeah, like that. That's the winner. Yeah, how do I reduce the Y padding? Like that. Nice. This was fun. This was fun. Here, I'll push this code up and I'll deploy it really quick so you all can use it if you want to. What's up, Jan? Welcome in. Gonna build it. We should build it with Vite, and then in the dist folder, these are all the files we need to actually deploy the app. And then I'll just use Surge to deploy it. A message to, so yeah, we talked about that. And I would have to change the font size based on the message length, and I don't want to do that. But then we have to use Canvas. It's just too much. It's just too much. Nice. Oh, create a canvas to measure it? Yeah, okay. Oh, so that's the thing. I am using view width for font size, but the number of characters is always variable, which is why I have to change it. So here it is, bigtimer.surge.sh. Use it all you want. So by default, it'll show up as 0. But for example, if you say hours equals 10, then it shows you 10 hours like this. And so this is 30 view width, but then if you do just minutes and seconds, then that's like 40 view width. And then if you do just seconds, that's that size. And then you can specify the color. Like that. You can also specify the BG color. Like that. Yeah. Oh no, I changed the default to just be 0 seconds. How do I maintain all my search sites? I don't. I probably have hundreds out there that I'll never be able to find again, because they don't even have a dashboard where you can check them, like see what you have. Yep, deploy it once, forget about it. Cool. I'm gonna update my my home screen to use the deployed one now. Oh, is that actually a thing? I feel like I looked into it a while back and I couldn't find anything. Or it, like their API was down when I was trying to do it, so I just like gave up on it. Font size adjust. I've literally never used that property before. What is it? Sets the size of lowercase letters relative to the current font size? I don't know if this would help. I don't think I understand what it does, but I don't think it'll help. Yeah, let me look at this codex. Oh. Thank you, Leak Geek. Thanks for the resub. Welcome in. I'm gonna run this command, and it's probably gonna be really long. Honestly, this would be fun just to see all the things that I've deployed. Yeah. Okay, let me just make sure there's nothing weird on here. There are things on here that I don't want you to see. So I'm going to show you one at a time. Here we go. Let me push that code up to GitHub, and then we're gonna go a trip down memory lane to look at all of the Surge projects. Yeah, exactly. Weird stuff. Oh, search all of... The thing is, I don't always put it in the readmes, but possibly. I mean, that'll at least get us a few of them. What was I gonna do? putting this on GitHub. Give me a second. React Native or Flutter? Neither. Choose Ionic. I don't have an opinion on it. I just said that to give you one more thing to look into. Because it depends on what kind of mobile app you're building. I feel like Flutter is probably really good for performance if you're trying to do more performant things. If you already know React, just use React Native. Especially if you're not trying to do like highly performant things. I guess React Native probably is fine for performance. I don't know. I'm not the person to ask. Well, so the other thing to look into is capacitor, because Ionic is built on top of capacitor. And you don't have to use the Ionic component library, because Ionic basically just gives you the component library. Capacitor is the thing that gives you the hybrid mobile experience. Oh no. Oh no! Everything's fine. Everything. Don't panic. Yeah. Yeah, so capacitor is integrated, but I mean, last I checked, capacitor itself is not tied to Ionic. It's from the same team, but you can use it without it. Okay. All of the code is over there. And let's take a walk down memory lane. So I found this one. This is the Twitch chat counter. And as a broadcaster, I can run this command, start count, and then anybody that types 1 in chat is gonna get added to this page. Nice. Yeah, this is it. This is all the app does. And if you look at the source, it's actually pretty, like, there's no build process here. It's super simple. If you look at app.js, we do some parsing to figure out what the channel is, because you could also do channel and then put the channel name in, and this will work for any other Twitch stream. And then we listen for Twitch messages, and then when we get one, if we are the broadcaster, we can run commands like start, end. Oh, and then if we do end, it will talk. Let's see. $29. Cool. Yeah, so that was fun. I think we did that probably 3 years ago on stream. All right, let's see what else we got. $29. Country food fight? How did this work? So this was a coding improv thing. Let's make sure there's no errors in the console. Okay, no errors in the console. Does anybody remember this? This was a coding improv. I'm looking at the code to figure out what the chat commands are, but essentially everyone in Twitch chat can pick a country, and then it starts bouncing around and you're fighting the other countries. But let's see what we can do. We have a command handler. What? Okay, exclamation mark, join team, and then you want your 2-character country code. So for me, it would be exclamation mark, join team, US. Let's see if that works. The code's broken because the country's REST API went down. Look, it should be like a read. Yeah, this like doesn't even exist anymore. Sad. We could fix it. We could fix it. Basically, it's almost like the bouncing DVD logo. So everyone that joins a country team, the flag shows up, and then they start bouncing around. Oh well. All right, let's see what else we got. So this is RGB pixel art. So you can choose your color. Great work, Ched. Great work. But I think was it Shaw? Someone asked what I used for my my YouTube video today. And I talk about it in the video. it's the last frequently asked question. So if you look right here, what did you use for this slide deck? There it is. And then I linked to the code in the video too. Okay, this is a React app. Imagine watching a video to the end, exactly. But regardless, this is a React app where you can press on the pixels to draw something. I don't even know what I was gonna draw. I guess I'm just gonna draw the letter H. But then down here, this gives you a little command that you used to be able to paste this in the chat, and then I had a little LED matrix that would light up the pixels, these colors, when you put that in the chat. I'm gonna go, it's not working right now, I can find it though. This. So, this plugged into an Arduino, and then the Arduino was plugged into my laptop using Johnny 5. Whenever a Twitch command like this came in, I would use it to control the color of all the pixels, and I used to like show it on the screen. How do I implement the touch and slide? Oh, look, I didn't know you could do that. Everything is on hover, so like, let's do it like this. Yeah, so there was also, this command sets all of the pixels all at once, but I think there also was a command where you could set an individual pixel. So it's like a tiny version of the Reddit place thing. But yeah, it's basically just hover. So each of these is a cell component, and on mouse enter, I set the color of the cell component to be what it is. Yeah. The code is definitely on GitHub. Let's find it. Yeah, React Pixel Art Maker. November 2020. Let's look at the code. Lab 76? System 76? But we had a... Well, there's a grid. And then on mouse over, update the cell, and update cell takes the currently selected color, or should anyways. Yeah, and then sets the background color on the state for that specific cell. Here, I'll make this. So yeah, that was fun. All right, let's see what else there is. Oh, Laboratory 424. Yeah, the one on Twitch. Yeah, yeah. So, I think this might have been an example of just using Vue.js. I don't even know when I built this on stream, but if I built this on stream, but it gets you 10 dad jokes from the dad joke API and then has like a little counter. I think this was probably an example of using API requests inside of Vue. I'm tired of following my dreams. I'm just gonna ask them where they're going to and meet up with them later. My team? What is my team? Oh no, I think that's an S3 bucket. Yeah, Amazon S3. Why didn't the skeleton cross the road? Because he had no guts. Let's see. Yeah, so you know what I really like? The fact that every example I've shown so far does not use any sort of build tool or build process. Like, it's very easy to understand the code and you can literally just look at the source of the page. So like, wait, did I even? Yeah, I guess I did use, I imported Vue in the script itself. So like, there's no build process. This is the Vue template. We, if we're loading, we say loading. If there's an error, we show an error. And if there was no error, we say, here are your jokes. And then we iterate over all of the jokes. That's it, that's all. And then if you look at the code, we're using the composition API. So we have like a ref for the message, reactive that has our loading state, the error, and the array of jokes. When the component is mounted, we call the API, we set it, done. No, Vue, this code still works. And you can still do it. Vue is like Alpine. I mean, honestly, that's why, like, I've mentioned this. So I think last time that you asked me about Alpine, I mentioned is like, I would just use Vue.js for this because Vue can be loaded from a CDN. You don't need a bundler or a build tool, and your template can go right in the page. So, and see you later, Dr. Thu. Thank you for hanging out. Like, this code still works today. This is completely valid. I mean, this is loading version 3, but I think we're on 3 point something now, and this would still work with Vue. Yeah, so essentially, instead of defining I mean, I think technically you could define your template in a string in the JavaScript, but also you can just define it here and then mount the Vue app on this element. Yeah. Cool. Let's see what else we got. This is nice. This is a give me a second. This is a Vue 3 Reddit client. It just calls Reddit. Right now it loaded r/aw, but if we search for JavaScript, yeah, look at that. We're even doing autocomplete. This is crazy. So you search for a subreddit, and then when you click on it, it'll load the posts and load the information about that subreddit. This, I think we did, yeah, so you can see it's minified. We use the Vue CLI for this. But yeah, it shows you the post, it links to the user, it links to the comments. Yeah, or if we look at like programmer humor, it'll load them all. Deducing your personality from your monitor setup. Did I do this with other frameworks? Is it mobile friendly? Sure. Sure. It's just a single column, so I think it works out fine. I am lawful neutral in my desk setup. What's your current monitors? How many monitors do you have, Alka? TIE Fighter? What's the TIE Fighter, like 6 screens? Neutral good. Boom, 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 boom. You're chaotic evil, Alka. That's what you are. Maybe not though. I feel like it probably is a decent setup. Like this is. I get the only reason it feels like chaotic evil is because the left hand side like isn't symmetric. I don't know. Is even. Three, 2, and 4 are identical. So they're the same size. So okay. And thank you, Vedith. Appreciate the resub. They asked this to Bard. You know, but Google emailed me and they're like, hey, you get instant access to Bard because you're a Google One subscriber. But then I still had to join the waiting list. But if I'm going 8 miles an hour, how many hours will it take for me to go 8 miles? 12.5 miles. Nice. Yeah. Huh. You had a dev that had 6 screens and he couldn't ever tell which screen he was on? Yeah, I could see it. Cool. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like we could expand on this little Reddit client here. Like, also, the fact that we're using the Reddit API, this page is really fast. Like, let's do a comparison of the amount of stuff that needs to load for this app. We'll do a hard refresh, like no cache, no cached files. So 1 kilobyte in Marjot. Thank you for the 4-month Prime. A kilobyte of HTML. So of just assets like scripts, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, it's 620 kilobytes. XHR requests, 130 kilobytes, and then you get the actual images, which is like 13 megabytes of images. Okay, so, but in total, 14 megabytes to load the first page of Programmer Humor. Let's see what that's like on the real Reddit. Oh, you know what? I might have my settings set to old Reddit. Yeah, I have old Reddit. So, old Reddit is actually really good. Look, old Reddit is only 9 megabytes. It also doesn't. It's not loading the full images. It's just loading the thumbnails. Let me turn on new Reddit. I never aligned. Dang, I don't know what you're talking about. The requests don't stop on the new Reddit. Okay, let's see. Let's clear all of that and then go here. Okay, so for this page load, 23 megabytes. And then we can see it. But I guess that includes images too. Like, if we don't include images, it's still 3 megabytes of, or no. Everything except for images. Still 20 megabytes of scripts and XHR requests? Wait, why is it loading MP4s? Why are those listed here? Oh, because the MP4s are loaded over XHR. Okay. Scripts, fonts, CSS, 12 megabytes. But then if we include XHR, which is videos, but it's still 12 megabytes for a single page though? That's insane, right? 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 I'm pretty sure they're using Next.js at Reddit. So that's a thing. Is XHR HTTP requests bad? No. So typically that's what the tab you would see whenever you like make an API request. But because the way that they're loading video, which is over HLS, it's treated like an XHR request. And Mr. Tornado, thanks for the more bits. Bye for now. I gotta get back to Fresh Indino. Nice. Have a good one. All right, let's find some more fun apps. An SAP application with 100 megabytes of JavaScript? Wait, what is this do? All right, I'm gonna... do I show this? Oh, okay. I was trying to remember what this is because it's hashtag blessed. It was a coding improv. Yes, and I think what I do is I call the Twitter API to get a bunch of tweets, and then I pass it through a machine learning thing to generate a hashtag blessed tweet. We made this around Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, everyone. I will so much for the suppress to be amazing, should reeling that I love you all, my Thanksgiving grateful for a wing noom you make me in my way to chat the boys for everyone. Who are the Elrica and blessing after. Hashtag blessed. What does this page do? Oh, no, we load a text. Yeah, we load the character RNN model from ML5, and it has a built-in model. Or no, did we make our own model of tweets? I don't know. It was a weird one. Let's see what else we got. This is just a to-do app with you. It's kind of ugly. That's fun. This is Charizard cards. So I made this because we got rated by Learn with Leon a while back. He's the host of 100 Devs. I don't know when the next stuff is happening, but if you're interested in learning to code, definitely check out his Twitch. But we got rated by them, and I actually wasn't writing code. I was like opening Pokemon cards, and so I was like, all right, let's stop and write some code. So where did we get all these Charizards? Oh yeah, so we called this API, and CF Steen, thank you for the 3 months, appreciate you. But we called this API to get back a list of all the Charizard Pokemon cards, and then we just wrote some super basic code that just puts them all onto the page like this. That's it. That's all that is. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be broken because we don't have a Jiffy API key. I don't think I improved that. That was like a super quick coded sample because all the people that rated from Learn with Leon were like very beginner coders. So I showed like the simplest possible code. This was something we just hacked together. Colorado COVID vaccine locations. Like, I just showed how to. First of all, I think this is whenever we reverse engineered an API to grab all these locations, and then like we had to figure out the data format, and then I just showed how to put all of that data onto a page. This is outdated at this point because this is just the data as it was back in 2020, and we just put it on a map. It's not like real-time data or anything like that. Stonk ticker? Does this even work? No. Oh, it did work. Yeah, so this is just the current stock price of GameStop. And it's real time. It'll turn red if the price goes down, it'll turn green if the price goes up, and then it just keeps ticking forever. Yeah. This, I think we did this on April Fool's Day. You can't click the button. Every time you try to click the button, it just goes away. Oh yeah, you can pass in is it symbol? Is Microsoft that? I actually don't know. Oh, I think we accounted for that. Like you can't tab to the button. Yeah, it's not accessible at all. MSFT? Okay, MSFT. I don't know what the query param is. I'd have to look at the code, and it's a React app, so I can't see what the code is. So yeah, that's fun. Oh yeah, this was weird. Okay, so we did this as a coding improv. So we call the League of Legends API. Here, let's just turn on dark mode. We call the League of Legends API, and we get a random hero image, and then we pass that image into ML5, and oh, that would probably work. Digital Smith, yeah, you could use a touchscreen. But we pass the image into ML5, and we ask it what it thinks it is. And then we also called a thesaurus API and came up with a bunch, or like a words API, and came up with the other things that it also possibly could be. So all of that to say, one of these is what the AI thought that this image was. So what do you think the AI thought this image was? Mosaic?
You are wrong. The answer was jigsaw puzzle.
So it thought that was a jigsaw puzzle. All right. And then again, what do you think the AI thought this was? I think it's stage. I remember something about Stagecoach. We're going with Stagecoach.
You are wrong. The answer was stage.
Oh, the answer was, I didn't even see stage in the list. Okay. What do you think the AI thought that this was? I don't know how we're coming up with these words, because this doesn't make sense. I don't even know what these words are.
You are wrong. The answer was Avaya.
Carousel.
You are correct.
Nice. Sock?
You are wrong. The answer was mask.
Mask. I think if we get 5 wrong guesses, we lose. So we've got, okay, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it like, if shower curtain shows up, it's shower curtain. So just choose shower curtain.
You are correct.
Yeah. All right.
You are wrong. The answer was closet. You have failed. I am disappointed in you. Get out.
Get out. Cool. So that was that. I think that was a weird one, but it was just like a fun exploration of like calling multiple APIs and like hooking everything together. Oh yeah. So one time we got raided by Kitboga, so we made a gift code redemption page. I actually don't know.
Do not redeem.
When you click the button, it
Do not redeem.
it talks for whatever reason. Oh, and then it redirects to Kitboga when you click cancel. That's cool. All right. Sadly, I think that this one is broken. Yeah, because wait. Oh, those are backgrounds. So we did this thing called Happiness Is, where people could submit what they thought happiness was. It went into a database, and then we just had like a gallery of all the happiness. Always watching. But the backend was hosted on Heroku, and I never redeployed it, so this app is broken right now. But that was a fun stream because we ended up making like a gallery. It was like, and you could scroll it. But yeah, not that. Sorry. What is this? Yeah, a lot of these are now all from Coding Improv, but we made this game called Bonsai Clicker, where so we got like a mock-up of a MacBook, and then we designed this center area to actually like look like a MacBook. And the game is you just click on the screen, and there are various things that'll pop up that are worth a certain amount of points. And if you get a rainbow, I don't know, but as you click, your battery life will go down if you pay attention to your battery life. And then eventually, like there's literally no rhyme or reason to the game. You just keep clicking. And then when your battery goes to, yeah, you'll see when it gets to less than 30, it like dims the screen, or less than 20. And if it goes to 0, then your laptop dies. But apparently rainbows are good and bonsai is good, butter is bad. There. And then if your battery dies, it says game over. That's that. No, not bonsai, bonzi. Bonzi is the name of I guess it's the Kitboga mascot. Is that accurate to say? That's bonzi right there, or bonsai. This is a memory game. Let's play, everybody. So it's literally just a flip things over, and it's emojis. Let's test my memory. Oh, easy. Nice. Oh, no. I know where that one is there. It's not there. That one is there. Nice. That one and that one. I remember originally I was like really bad at this. I had like the worst possible memory whenever we were testing it. Like I couldn't remember anything. Yeah, I think if you, well, no, it's dynamically generated. So the source is just JavaScripts here. And it is, yeah, it is vanilla JS. I guess technically if you did element inspector, you could potentially see what each thing is. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. All right. That one. No. That one? Where's the heart? Here. Nice, first try. Easy. And then fireworks happen or not? I think there's a few more. Let's see what else there is. Oh yeah, this is the Dino Jump game. Retro Waffle Dino Jump. If you hit the waffles, the game is over. You have to restart. You press up to jump. I guess what was fun about this is all. I'm pretty sure this is all vanilla JavaScript. And JRen Fed, thank you for the Prime. There's no game framework here. These are literally HTML elements that are being moved with JavaScript on the screen. And then we found like the dino asset, and like you can see that I think it might just be an animated, it might be a GIF. Let's see. Yep, vanilla.js, and the dino is just it's just a GIF, and it's literally just HTML elements that are flying across the screen. We made our own little game engine. Oh, kitten keys. This was a fun one. It's a piano where each key is the right, I guess it's in the right key. It honestly might be a little bit flat, but it's the notes. Oh, you can't hear it. You can't hear it. Let me my noise cancellation is cutting it out. I've never written any games in Phaser. Yeah. Is there keyboard support? Yeah. Cool. Oh, I remember this. We had big plans for Aliens as a Service. This was a coding improv, but we were like, we're gonna keep working on this. Like, we want to be able to do all the things, because basically you get a little alien, and you can dress him up. Like, you can put a hat on him, and you can adjust all the things. I guess that's not working. And then you can change the color of the alien. And then you can download it as an image. So that's a thing. That's all we ended up doing. This one was not vanilla.js. Was this? Oh, did we do this with Svelte? Yeah, it was. Everyone was talking about how these should be NFTs, but I don't know. Yeah, and there's a few other ones. This is the
It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed.
guess I'll start it over again. We get random space images.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.
And we used a voice AI thing to convert a bunch of quotes
No matter what
into
people
Morgan
tell
Freeman's
you,
voice.
words and ideas can change the world.
Yeah.
To reach a port, we must sail.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I totally forgot. We're gonna do coding improv tomorrow.
You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script.
Yeah. So definitely tune in tomorrow. We were going to build something completely random, similar to all that stuff that I showed you. All right. I need to take a quick break, and then we'll figure out something to do after that. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'll probably be live for like another 30 minutes to an hour, just hanging out. It's a chill stream. But I'll be back soon. See ya. All right, I'm back. What do we do now? Should we write code? Should we do something completely unrelated to code? I guess I could look at the possible to-dos, see if there's anything that seems doable and within the time frame that we have. Well, we did the countdown timer. That's fun. CSS battle could be cool. Let's take a look at that. I guess I think we did. Did we do number 1 and number 2? Yeah, we did number 2. We did number 3? It says why does it say I've finished all of these? I've never done these before. That's not me? Oh, like it was a battle earlier. I see. So we did these two. I guess we'll just pick one that looks interesting. I have no idea how to make these kinds of shapes with CSS. Like, I don't know how to do like a curve like that. I guess technically this could be a div and then a circle the same color as the background on top of it, a circle and a circle. This is doable. Okay. Let's do it. And if you want to try this CSS battle, go for it. First of all, let's make the background this color. It's circles all the way down. Okay, easy enough. Now let's make this little div. We'll give it a class of blue square. And is there a tool for like calculating screen size or like measuring like how long does this thing need to be? I think ultimately we're gonna make the body a flexbox, so that gets put right in the center. But then this needs a height. That. I guess we just increase it. So the rectangle is 300 by 150, but how do you know? But let's see, if I do 300. It's a little under 300. 280? No, it's over 300. 310? Is it 3? I guess let's try it 300. Oh, it is. Okay, so 300. It's good. And then the height 150. The only issue is it's shifted down slightly, so it's not in the exact center of the page. Oh, margin and pad. I see. Yeah, so no margin on the page should fix that. Yeah. Cool. All right, we've got ourselves a box that is lined up. Now let's add the outer circle inside the div. So the outer circle is going to be the color of the background. And let's give it a width of 200 pixels and a height of 200 pixels. And then a border radius of 100%. Nice. But then we just need to center it in the blue square. So if we make the blue square a flex box, we could center it there. So it's bigger than that, is it? 400? 350? $250? It's $250. Look at me. It's perfect. And then inside of the outer circle, we have an inner circle. And it has this blue background color. And 100% border radius. But it's smaller, probably 100 by 100. And then the outer circle needs to be a flexbox too. Background. Nice. Apparently it's bigger, so is it 200? Is it 150? Yes. We're almost there. And then lastly, we'll have the innermost circle. Make all of the elements of Flexbox? Yeah. If I was doing shortest mode, then I would. I think, like, technically the CSS battle is shortest mode. You're supposed to do it in the least number of characters, but I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna solve it. For me, it's a fun enough challenge just to solve it. All right, and then this is gonna be yellow. And is it 50 pixels? That seems about right. Then we just need to flexbox it. Yeah, we've done it. Less characters is extra points? Okay. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. If we did want to make this all shorter, we could literally make everything a flexbox. It's perfect. We could say everything is a flexbox. And then we can get rid of this. What did I do wrong here? Why is this happening? Grid and place. Yeah, you could probably get working with that. Yeah. I'm not as familiar with grid. I do Flexbox for most things. What is happening? Why doesn't it like my everything selector? Is that not how that works? Oh, it's missing. Is that it? Yeah, it is messing with other stuff. You're totally right. So we'd have to do something like that, just div and body. That's what it is. Like, basically they have other elements that are like hidden, and it's bringing them into view. Huh. So yeah, if we target the div and the body, good. We made these all p tags. Did I mess something up? Remove one circle and give the blue one a border. Oh, you're right. You're right. It would take less elements. What did I do wrong here? Yeah, I might need to do like a global, yeah, like, I don't know why though, but we could say everything has no margin and no padding. Does a P tag really that bad? Will it still work with like a random element? It will. Huh. Would you look at that? Z. And then we minify all of this. Cool. And then we name our classes A. Can the tags self-close? No, the way that I've just styled it is they're the parent of each other one. So I don't think so. A, B, C, D. And then this becomes A, B, C. I did it wrong. This becomes A, B, C, D. All right, then we shouldn't need any of this, and we don't need pixels. I don't think you need the last semicolon in a selector. I don't know if they allow you to do that, Stas. Maybe they don't allow image tags? CSS syntax is fascinating, honestly. The fact that it's so resilient to like weird missing semicolons and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that could work, Spilson. So if we put border radius into its own class and then just put it on each of these, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 8 characters, and that saves us having to specify it multiple times. So we'll do that. We'll just call it Y. And then this gives us a border radius of 100%. That. But now we remove all of these. And we put Y on all of these. Except for that one. Cool. No space between solid and color? Or sorry, yeah, okay. I guess, are these are... Would it save us characters to put this into a class? I don't think I can because I need to target the body specifically. No classes at all are entire. Yeah, but will that save me characters? No idea. I have a sneaking suspicion that it won't save me characters. Yeah, use like a small variable name for the color. Let me explore that after we get all of this in. All right. Our entire style tag is now on a single line. And get rid of all that. Go there. Does this give me a character count? We don't need to do root. You could put it here. Oh, I'm at 392. Apparently, there's a lot I could change because Alka only has 240, 249. But yeah, you could do A is this. And then did that save us any characters? That added characters. With the entire background, like in a separate class, but the issue is I can't target the body's background color then if I do that. I guess technically I could have another element and like position it across the whole page. You can leave off. Oh, the closing style. You know what? You can probably leave off the closing one of those too. Yeah. Fascinating. Border radius 50%? Didn't know it. I mean, I guess I did know it. I feel like I've forgotten everything about everything. Who else has a border radius? Oh, yeah, you're right. I can self-close the innermost. Or don't close it at all. Do you see it? Where are my other border radiuses? I thought I had one more. Oh, I forgot. We separated it. Display grid, place item center? Let's try it. Not quite. Because then you also need... You need what's the other one? Because you need vertical and horizontal centering. So if I Yeah, but I extracted that. I forgot about that. A and C have the same background. Extracted to a class. Yeah. Place content center? Okay. Okay. So that 243 and 243 can go away. But now we have a new class. We call it X. And it does that. And we need X here and X here? Yeah. I'm at 342. Yeah, I think you're probably right for the, well, though, no, so if we do that, then we can't share the background color, or can we? Because then it would be border color instead of background color. How come it's at 249? I thought he was at like... All right. $239? Yeah, I feel like I've used too many elements. Oh well, I'm fine with this. This is my solution. 615. Score of 615. Alka did it in a single element. I see. A single element with before? What? And what's up with these margins? That, I guess that pushes in Z? That pushes this element in using that margin? Do you need the display block? Apparently you do. Fascinating, Alka. I won't steal your solution though. That's awesome. All right. I think I'm done for today. Thank you everybody for hanging out. This was a fun chill stream. Definitely go check out the course that I've launched. Check out the video on YouTube that gives a rundown of what it is to decide if it's something you want to do. And I'll see you tomorrow. Are you making a new timer? But yeah, tomorrow will be a coding improv, so it'll be a pretty chill thing, and typically a pretty fun time as well. Yeah, thank you UXWeb. Thank you for hanging out. But if you go here, you can see when the stream will be tomorrow. It'll be a shorter one, but the plan is we're gonna have fun. We're gonna build something completely random based on suggestions. So thanks everybody for hanging out. Thank you for all the supports. I couldn't do it without you. I appreciate you. Let's go on a raid. All right. If you are a sub, you can use this raid message. If you're not a sub, use this raid message. And let's get out of here. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.